Remember that we're going to have supply and demand for labor today, and we're going to have supply and demand for labor in the future. So let's first talk about labor supply today. The supply of labor is going to depend on three different factors. Two you're familiar with, and one is new. So first, the quantity of labor supplied is going to increase when the real wage increases. So this is just the same argument that we made before. A higher wage increases the opportunity cost of leisure. When the substitution effect dominates the income effect, then you substitute out of leisure and into work. This is what creates the upward sloping supply curve for labor when the wage is on the vertical axis. As before, whenever the consumer's wealth rises, they're going to want to consume more leisure because leisure today and in the future is a normal good. So higher wealth is going to increase current leisure, and therefore it's going to reduce the quantity of labor supplied. Now we get the new relationship, which comes from the fact that we have a dynamic or intertemporal model. And this new relationship says that the quantity of labor supplied is going to increase when the real wage increases. The way to see that is to compare the price of leisure today to the price of leisure in the future. And what we have here is in the numerator, we have the price of opportunity cost of leisure today, which is just the wage today. And in the denominator, we have the present value of the opportunity cost of leisure in the future. So this ratio tells you something about what the price of leisure today is relative to leisure in the future. Now, if we convert this into units, you can multiply out the wage times the interest rate and to scale it by the future wage. And you get units that are hours in the future over hours today. When this ratio goes up, leisure today becomes relatively more expensive compared to leisure in the future. And so consumers are going to want to substitute out of leisure today and into leisure in the future. This is what we call the intertemporal substitution, intertemporal substitution of leisure. So that just means you're substituting leisure across time. A higher real wage, a higher real interest rate, given the wage today and in the future, makes leisure today relatively more expensive. And when the substitution effect dominates the income effect, it's going to increase the quantity of labor supplied today. You can then summarize the supply of labor by saying that it depends on three objects: the wage today, the supply of labor today, I should say. They depend on the wage today, the real interest rate, and on wealth. And if we plot this and we have the supply of labor on this axis and the wage on this axis, we're going to get an upward sloping curve. Again, if the substitution effect dominates the income effect. This is going to shift out, say, N1S. If the real interest rate goes up or wealth declines. Either of those situations will be ones where at any given current wage, the consumer is going to want to supply more labor.